From the little village of Kringletown over the big mountain is the North Pole. At the bottom of the snow-covered mountain is a beautiful castle, several small cottages, a reindeer stable, and a very big workshop. This is where Santa Claus lives. Santa does not live alone at the North Pole. Mrs. Claus, 9 reindeer, one with a very shiny nose, and over 100 little elves live at the top of the world with Santa. Santa's elf friends are busy all year making toys in Santa's workshop. One elf has been with Santa longer than any other elf. His name is Mr. Elf. No one knows how old he is. Mr. Elf himself does not even know. Mr. Elf loves his job as head toy maker at Santa's workshop. He teaches all the other elves how to make the trains go choo-choo, the balls bounce high, and the dolls laugh and cry. Mr. Elf works from sunup to sundown almost every day making toys for all the good little boys and girls all over the world. There will be no work today, though. Today is Thanksgiving Day. Santa's workshop is closed, so Mr. Elf and all of his elf friends can enjoy Thanksgiving dinner with Santa and Mrs. Claus. After Mr. Elf finishes eating, he is so full he thinks his belly will pop. As everyone sits around the dinner table, Santa and the elves talk about the many toys they have to make before Christmas. While all the other elves begin to talk excitedly among themselves, Santa quietly asks Mr. Elf to join him by the fire for a cup of hot chocolate. Mr. Elf looks around the castle as he walks with Santa. He loves Santa's castle. Every room looks like Christmas and smells like warm cookies and hot chocolate. Mr. Elf sits down by the fire and sips his hot chocolate. He feels warm all over. Santa begins, "Old friend, I need your help. You see, there are more and more children asking for more and more toys every year. I can hardly keep up with everything that must be done. I have to get some rest before the reindeer and I leave for our journey around the world on Christmas Eve night. I have a special job I trust only you to do," Santa continues. "I am asking you to watch and listen to the children for me between now and Christmas Eve night. As you know, they must not pout or cry. They must share with their friends and mind their parents." "Mr. Elf, you must leave tonight," Santa exclaims. Mr. Elf is so surprised he cannot speak. His eyes are as big as saucers. He is so proud that Santa trusts him to do one of his most important jobs. Mr. Elf laughs, jumps up and down, and claps his hands. Santa himself cannot keep from laughing. He knows Mr. Elf is a very happy elf indeed. Santa then pulls from his pocket a green felt bag with a bright red drawstring. He reaches his hand toward Mr. Elf and says, "Mr. Elf, this is magic dust. When I sprinkle this dust on you, you will be magical. You will travel as fast as my reindeer and I. This magic dust lets you appear in different places every day. You will travel between houses in the blink of an eye or move around inside a house by making a simple wish." Santa reaches into the bag and pulls out a handful of sparkling dust. He sprinkles the magic dust on Mr. Elf's head. Mr. Elf closes his eyes and makes a wish. When he opens his eyes, he's sitting on Santa's fireplace mantel. He and Santa laugh and laugh and laugh. Mr. Elf closes his eyes again and makes another wish. This time when he opens his eyes, he's sitting on top of Santa's bookshelf. Mr. Elf is so excited. He now has the same magic that Santa has when he flies around the world with the reindeer on Christmas Eve night. "Now the children must never touch you while you are being my eyes and ears," Santa says. "If they touch you, the magic will disappear. So stay up high, Mr. Elf, out of their reach. The children will look for you and find you in a different place every morning when they wake up," Santa says, smiling proudly. "I know how much you love the boys and girls, Mr. Elf, but you must never talk to them or play with them," Santa whispers. "You do not want the magic to go away before I pick you up on Christmas Eve night. On that most special night of the year, you must stay in their room until they fall asleep," Santa continues. "When I come to deliver their toys, you tell me if they're asleep. If so, I will put their toys under the Christmas tree." Mr. Elf hops down from the bookshelf. He stands at attention like the toy soldier he made yesterday. He listens to everything Santa says. Santa finishes his instructions to Mr. Elf. "When our work is done, you and I will deliver the rest of the toys on my sleigh. I know I can depend on you, Mr. Elf," Santa says proudly. Suddenly, the telephone jingle jangles. Santa turns around quickly to answer it. When he turns back around, Mr. Elf is gone. Santa wonders where Mr. Elf will spend his first night away from the North Pole. Where do you think Mr. Elf is?